everybody. Thank you all for coming out on a Tuesday night. It's a nice thing to do. I'm glad you're here. We're gonna crack on with a bit of poetry. Richard Atkinson has a book out called Fat Lemons. He has another one coming out soon with Underground Books in New York called Diversions as Approved by the Poetry Police, which I think is a cracking title. I don't think he's got any with him, but you can get him online. So I'm sure if you talk to him, he'll be able to sort it out with that. We've had him on at the open mic here at Babble Gum a couple of months ago. He was cracking, lovely poet. Please wait while I re-sort this mic out.
I'm sitting down. I'm getting older. I need to sit down. That's money good.
Please put your hands together for Richard Atkinson.
This is kind of the type of poem of the book that came out in Underground Books, New York, a couple of years ago. Don't know where it came from really. I mean it's a long time since I've been in love or anything, but I think being in love can be a bit like being hypnotised. So I would say it's something like that. It's called Love Stuff and Fat Lemons. She said she'd hypnotise me. Fat lemons. You know, whenever I wrote a poem and thought about sex, fat lemons. And I would type fat lemons in capitals. And not realise I was doing it, or see it after. I think how gorgeous she is. Of course I knew she was kidding. Fat lemons. My God, she's comely. I'm just not the type to be entranced, put under. Fat lemons. Oh, to be near her magnificence again. Fat lemons, fat lemons. She can't fool me, pull the wool over. Fat lemons, my eyes. Her eyes are deeper than fat lemons. Her eye, a love jug with a black hole in and too many warm swirls to count. You can't help but fall in fat lemons deep. Cheers. This happened at Biker metro station many years ago when I was living at Biker. It's just something I noticed, and you know, we don't see this sort of thing much, or people don't notice it, and they should notice it because it's really great when you see it happening. The shriek. Kid was standing over the other side of the platform. She was a young lady. There was something about her way. She did not talk, and her maybe mother went to the other side of her and placed the young lady's right hand into a pocket she had in a jacket. Maybe because it had turned colder. Maybe because she really cared. You do not see that sort of thing happening much nowadays. And I wondered it as she had not said anything to her maybe mother. It had all been done with eye contact as far as I could see. Just wondered if the lady had a learning difficulty. And felt amazed how much the maybe mother really cared about her. Maybe daughter, or maybe they were sisters. Then as the metro train turned up, the lady gave a little shriek of excitement. Woo! Woo! It sounded really good. And I felt like giving a little shriek myself as a way of reply, like an owl. But I didn't. Because people just don't do that sort of thing nowadays, which is a crying shame. Good. I can hardly see anyone. This happened when I was living in Manchester, alongside, and I was in a kind of an area. It was kind of a ethnic minority area, so it was great, and I loved living there. You know, I really did. But I felt, I don't know, it just felt that. Anyway, this sort of, you know, but I'm not having a go at it. It's good, and you know, we need to get along with everyone. But it's not a racist thing. I'm not a racist. But it's just how I felt a bit, because I was kind of writing poetry then. It's called The Poet. There's a man who lives in my street who lowers the tone of the neighbourhood. My dad says so. He lives on his own and wears 50s suits without a tie, which is a bit odd. Always looks like his mind is somewhere, is elsewhere, on holidays somewhere, raining maybe, which is a bit odd. And does not work and does not even own a car, just a cheap tatty bike, which is a bit odd. He even plays classical music and sings to himself sometimes, which is very, very odd. I know he lowers the tone because I've seen him going out furtively in a big black coat, a black woolly hat in the small hours, cycling to the neighbourhood tone volume dial at the end of our street. Turns it right down the blighter, and everyone's asleep and not looking. See sparks fizzing from diodes, hear a distant crackle and hum, and crazy man laughter. My dad says they should keep it padlocked or house prices will plummet, which is not very odd, but understandable really. Cheers. This happened a few weeks back. I normally go for a coffee at Nero's, and I was just sitting opposite St Mary's. I thought something had happened, you know, I thought, you'll see anyway. The morning of the glowing soul orb. Having my morning coffee at Nero's as normal in the city centre, which is opposite Old St Mary's Church, notice in one of the church windows a glowing lighted soul orb, going up and down, swirling strangely this way and that way. A lady comes over to me from the street to ask for a light. It must be a sign that I am seeing that I will become betrothed to Cigarette Lady, with the husky voice. I'm in here, I think. Then suddenly realise I'm not as young as I used to be. And she probably just wanted a bloody light. And she didn't have one. Do you see the glowing soul orbs hovering strangely in the church window? I asked her. Yes, she said. That's strange. And she said, and waited and wafted strangely away, having given me hope that it is worth it to continue to do this breathing thing on a daily basis. And someone fancied me for a bloody change, but hell, she just wanted to have a light. God damn it. So I went over to St Mary's like an ex-file detective. But on the new mysterious case of the glowing soul orb, I told them what I saw and asked them if they had spirits. And they exclaimed, there are probably a lot of spirits in the old Devon, you know, in my local Newcastle. Can't do Newcastle, actually. In the old building. And I must have seen one of them, of the spirits, trying to break free from this mortal coil. Right, I replied. Perhaps it was that I saw. A builder appeared carrying a ladder, and I spoke to him about the floating soul orb to see if he had seen anything mysterious happening as he was working. Ah, no, mate, but I did knock the hanging ceiling light with my ladder. I was a bit let down, you know. A bit let down. so fine. Huh? It's happened at coming from Bike and Metro as well. The newspaper didn't want a local story about that, you know. Yeah, I just saw that happened when I was living at Biker. If we are the lucky ones, there were 2 baby kids on the Metro, 2 or 3 years old. In a double buggy, they were both sucking red lollipops, which had almost disappeared. One of them started banging the red lollipop on his teeth, bang, 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 like he was banging out a drum beat to the sound of the Metro. Then the other one started doing it. So both were doing it in tandem. One a boy, the other a girl. All kids do these amazing things, but sometimes we never notice, but I did. The girl gave me this huge smile as she was pushed off the Metro, an unresolved smile that makes you wonder if it actually happened or imagined. But then I wonder all the time if real life is all imagined. Especially the good bits, because as human beings, our lives are shorter distance than a squirrel buried nuts. Squirrels buried nuts, yeah. I've measured it. You know. Surely we will in the end know more about death, and it might last a bit longer, as in an eternity and a day than life does. That our reality realm is really death, not life. Life is for a short, short while before death knocks us for 7, again and again. In life we see, smell, live, love, forgive, grow, grieve, remember, forget, suffer, dance, and grow roses down the avenues of the dead. If we are the lucky ones, worship shopping, sex and religion, and sometimes other people, if we are the lucky ones. Visiting the Bukowski's love dog from hell. It makes you wonder how much it takes to make it happen for us to be here, for A to meet B, for our ancestors. And our ancestors are the one sperm that got through, and all the suffering they encountered to have their kids. And then their kids, and to have their kids, and then their kids had their kids, and they suffered beyond what we can imagine, to have us. And we somehow grow up into the central human beings we are, if we are the lucky ones. Like it was so easy to be an essential human being. As though we were all unique individuals, kissing the face of death. Whilst laughing with friends and family, if we are the lucky ones that haven't seen them. But if death only happened to other people, everything ends. Metro rides, even red lollipops. Eventually, who loves you, baby? Cheers. Easy one. There we go. This happened a long time back when I was quite a bit younger. My dad died in about 93, and one of the last times I saw him was this happening, and the happening after when I was in hospital when I saw him. But it really sums up my dad well. And the title of it is Father, Dad, Jack, and they're all in lower capitals, so even Jack hasn't got a capital. Well, there you go. He comes from Middlesbrough, but I can't do a Middlesbrough accent. But he lived in Brighton. What do you call me, Dad, son? Betting slips, oh, bloody lost. Empty sherry bottles, fuse taken out, cheap record player plug to prevent fuss when drunk, and he wanted it loud, loud. Blind was a pensioner he described as a living dead person. Miserable bugger, moan, moan, moan. He helped out his unemployed mental health monk, drinking chum, only family he really had. I visit an Irish boozing friend is there. Dad played the tape I got him. The singing detective soundtrack. Laugh, I almost cried. Dad laughed as well, bellyache type laugh. Thump, 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 thump on the armchair. He said, I'll be giggling about it later, people would think me crazy. The idea of Dad sitting there with his boozing pal, complaining about miserable buggers, while the corny tape played about long-lost sweethearts. No life here. Those bloody horses, the bloody pools, those bloody Tories. said whilst listening to old crooners talking about their lost true loves. It really made me laugh. Dad gave me a bar of chocolate at the end of the visit. I gave him a little money for cigarettes. In the hospital we did not really speak. He told me to keep warm up north, still spoken like a factory. Thought my back had gone. Dad was half dead, riddled with cancer, life out of eyes, still moaning, "There's no bloody life here." Watching the footy whilst moaning about Charlton's coaching skills, he was partly Irish, my dad. On crutches, he fell on the way to the toilet, would not let me help him back up. He died soon after. It took many visits to the doctor before they felt the obvious lumps under his armpits. He was full of it. No one wants to touch a dirty old man, the bastards. Don't let the bastards get you down, son. Yes, Jack. Sorry, Dad. Cheers. You got time for another? All right. I can feel it. Yeah, this is, I wrote this a long time back as well. It's just about the way of writing poetry. So it's kind of free for writing poetry. Just kind of describes it. Someone told me, I've been going to a poetry group for a long time, but they've kind of stopped now. But there was something written like it called Ars Poetica, but it's not like arse, as in you're sitting on your arse. It's spelt wrongly, but I always pronounce it like kind of the Ian Dury way, like Ars Poetica, you know. It sounds a bit more fruity, doesn't it, you know? But I think they called it arse, as in A-R-S, but I'll do the Ian Dury way. Ars Poetica, a poet's manifesto. It sounds better like that, doesn't it? A poem can be about A, a feeling, laughing, a half glance, a shy smile, something not quite seen, something half remembered, not flowers unless they're dead, a frosted waterfall, ghosts, losers, especially the lost. Losing especially, it's underrated, hardly ever the successful. As long as it growls or howls, for smiles, the fool's the unfeeling. The herd, the mindless, reporting how it is for you this once. It has to be written, it has to be read, sometimes aloud, sometimes unrejuvenated. Not about big love, better small love. Punk music, Sex Pistols, the first gig. Classical music, some kind of feeling. Whispers, shouted. Almost sung, a dream or nightmare, surreal. Humorous, never written whilst kneeling, times half forgotten. Never obvious unless it's written for the boring, real unreal. Some kind of light, some kind of anger especially. It can be about the coming of spring, but only if you're about to purchase a pogo stick or see a punk band. Films, books, pots, but never poets unless they don't call themselves poets. Never preach unless it's to poke and jab with right hooks. Never take yourself too seriously. We're all very young even when we die old. This visit is on the short side, death, but only from the angle that some sadly are inside. Highbrow or cliched never unless it is to take the urine. A photograph, curd, fogged, something half heard. About the legless, chance happening, burnt dinners. Fish and chips with vinegar, and the way the chippy moves. The bloke at the door talking to himself, especially. Bag ladies and men and women especially, good criminals. Bad folk gone off like eggs. Bitterness, hatred, racism, but only in other people. Bigots, the small-minded, the bored and the boring, who haven't quite woken up yet. Thugs and bullies, the way someone walks. Talks, hobbles, blinks, moves their head, shakes their head. Says no, says yes. Bounces as they walk. Up and down pavement earth. Wonder happenings, bliss being followed in life. Rejection especially, the humdrum. I haven't got room for B. You will have to imagine it and write it all down, your inner self. Cheers.
we'll do it.